All right, everyone, the big day is here. This is the big release that's going to go through all of the information. And what I wanted to do is to just basically go through every single relic tier and basically just talk about, what's going to be available, some of the passives, the point thresholds, and stuff like that. Also, unlike my old videos or like the other videos that you might be used to, I'm basically just not going to be doing any editing. It's just going to be me going through the Wikipedia page and, just talking about what I think. And I think this is important because I think it's so easy to just hype up every single relic and be like, oh, this is going to be so broken. This is going to be so broken. But it's also fun for me to have like one video where I try to really lock down my thoughts and be, a little bit critical. And while I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, this relic is garbage, don't take it. I'm not going to do any of that. There might be a little bit more of like, I guess like hard opinions where I'm going to say like, yeah, I don't think this one's that good. I think these are better. But that's just because like, I think it's good. Okay. So let's just start going through it. We got our relics. And remember, this is all on the OSRS Wikipedia. Definitely, you're going to have to keep this up because you're going to be referring to this quite a bit. So, okay, we got tier 1 at 0 points. I want to see if I can possibly move this over. Like something like this, for example. Is this possible? No, I think I'm just going to move myself here. That way you guys can see it. This is just easier. Okay. Again, sorry, it's pretty scuffed. I literally just woke up, took a shower, things are good. All right. First up, tier 1. This is what we're getting right from the start with 0 points. And I'm also going to go through the passives because these are actually equally important. Okay, so items from some sources will be twice as common. That's good. Unlimited run energy. We knew that. And then stackable clue scrolls right from the start. I mean, that's freaking awesome to get it right from the beginning. I'm really excited about that. All right, and we're going to go through all of them. So first up, we got Endless Harvest, Production Prodigy, and Trickster. Endless Harvest gives you 2 times the resources from fishing, woodcutting, and mining, and experience is also doubled. Resources sent to your bank. Items that normally cannot be banked will be placed in the inventory instead. This is like if you're doing like Winter Todd, you can't like bank the logs or whatever, right? This one's very, very good. I think a lot of people, they only see this as like, oh, well, you're gonna get your resources banked, so it's very AFK. But keep in mind that only really helps like fishing. For woodcutting and mining, you're still gonna have to click the new resources every now and then. For me, the big one here is the fact that you're getting double the experience and double the resource. I think that's very, very huge. And for me, it makes Endless Harvest like very strong. Production Prodigy, crafting, smithing, herbal art, fletching, and cooking are all boosted by plus 12. This is insane for helping you speed through the early game, get a lot of tasks done way faster than other people can. And additionally, whenever you're doing these activities, so smelting, smithing, fletching, cleaning herbs, making potions, cooking food, and basically any kind of crafting, you're going to process your whole inventory in one go. And you get full experience. In addition, there's a 25% chance that you're going to make an extra product per item, which gets sent to your bank, and this also gives experience. So, yeah, Production Prodigy is very, very good. My only problem with it is that I feel like a lot of these are very, very fast skills anyways. So if you're speeding up, like let's say all these skills took you 5 hours each and you make them 1 hour each, well, you've only saved like 4 hours per skill, right? Compared to like, let's say like fishing, you went from 60 hours to 30 hours. It's saving you 30 hours, right? These are just examples. I have no idea what the actual numbers are, but yeah, this is like, it's just for me, this is why I'm kind of like, I'm still very much thinking about Endless Harvest. And then finally, Trickster. Players are given the Sage's Greaves, which gives you agility experience while you run. This basically makes it so that you get all the agility experience you need just by keeping these boots on and running. And you do have to run. You can't just walk. Players will always succeed while thieving, agility, hunter, and fire making. This is very, very important, mainly so that you never fail getting Chinchampas and you never fail thieving. Those are like the 2 big ones. It means you're going to be able to thieve things like Vyres and Elves in Mauritania and Tirynwyn, or Tsar in the Asgarnia. If you have Asgarnia with like ice gloves or Fremnik with ice gloves, you can pickpocket Tsar. So this thing's very good. Makes thieving AFK also because you're going to re-pickpocket an NPC until you get the maximum amount of coin pouches. And if it doesn't have coin pouches, so like Tsar, they don't have coin pouches. This basically means you can just do it infinitely for like 25 minutes. And the maximum amount of coin pouches is tripled, so you're going to be there for like at least, I think it's like 2 minutes or something. Pickpocketing loot is doubled and it's doubled and noted. And this does stack with the rogue outfit. This is very, very good with Asgarnia because you're going to get the ice gloves. Box traps will lure creatures faster and give double loot and hunter experience. Holy moly. I did not know it gave double hunter experience. That is very, very good, actually. Also, what this basically means is that as soon as a Chinchampa spawns, it just beelines to your box. It's really good. Like, Trickster is very, very strong. Impling Jars never break, so I think this just means that if you're going to Puro, you can't, like, you just will never break your jars. It's like, this is insanely good for Puro. And then you also can burn, like, 9 logs at a time, and I believe this also works in Wintertodt, but basically you burn, like, a 3x3 grid. It's nothing special, it just makes fire making, like 9 times as fast, basically. Trickster is very powerful. I think Trickster is the best relic, I would say, if you are not planning on doing a lot of agility, because you're basically getting all of your agility experience for free, and you're getting AFK thieving, and you can also get like a lot of money, a lot of supplies, like the Tsar. If you're pickpocketing them, you can get like uncut gems from them. If you're going to the Vires, you're gonna get blood shards. I would say, like, if you're going Mauritania, you should probably pick Trickster every time. If you're going for Tyrnwyn, you can pickpocket the elves and get like gold, crystal shards. Like, it's really good there. The only reason why I'm not going Trickster, I really do think this is the best one. The only reason why I'm not going Trickster is because I do plan on doing Monkey Laps in Kandarin, and that gives me like over 25 million agility. So, like, Trickster's really, really good. I would honestly say, if you're going Kandarin, just don't even do the agility laps. Just skip it. Like, I'm doing it for fun, honestly. But Trickster's really, really strong. But personally, I think I'm going to be going for Endless Harvest here, and I'll talk about later why I really like Endless Harvest. There's one other reason a little bit later on. Okay, tier 2. This is at 500 points. You're getting 8 times multiplier. Rush this, okay? Rush this. Try to get this multiplier, dude. 8 times is insane, okay? And also, you're going to get 3 times minigame points. This makes the desert as a first unlock way more powerful, in my opinion, because if you can go there and start doing like Mage Training Arena, Guardians of the Rift, even something like, whatchamacallit, Giant's Foundry, when you're getting 3 times minigame points, that's really, really good. I think there's another region that has a lot of minigame points that I'm missing, but yeah, Desert's like the one that stands out to me just because I'm going that. And also 8 times multiplier, like, this is just so good. Okay, so just get tasks done. Don't do a lot of grinding until you get this done. Like save it all for 8 times multiplier. It's very good. It's like a 60% bonus. It's very, very strong, right? Okay. And then for our relics, so we do have Fairy's Flight. You're gonna get a fairy mushroom, which allows teleporting to any fairy ring, spirit tree, or tool leprechaun. Or you're gonna have Globetrotter, which lets you teleport to all locations from an ornate jewelry box and nearly all spellbook teleport spells. So the ornate jewelry box, just to go over this is like a Ring of Dueling, Games Necklace, Combat Bracelet, and a Skills Necklace. A lot of really good, like I think if you're going Zaya Man for like Woodcutting Guild, Farming Guild, like, dude, it's pretty it's pretty good. But then again, you can also teleport to the Leprechaun. Oh, and you're gonna get Ring of Wealth. Man, there's so many good teleports. Jeez. And then from the spellbook, I am pretty sure this means you can go to any spellbook, even if you don't have it unlocked. Personally, I think Fairy's Flight is, I think it's better. I think it's more useful for tool leprechauns. But I also don't know. But I got one caveat, which we'll talk about a little bit later. I haven't actually looked at them. I just like briefly took like a quick look at like just like 1 or 2 that I had no idea about. But for the most part, this is like my raw thoughts. Anyways, okay, I think they're both like they're pretty equal, I would say. I think Globetrotter gets a lot better if you have a specific use for it. So if you're going like Mauritania and you want the Barrows teleport from the Arceus spellbook, Globetrotter gets a lot better. Fairy's Flight, I think, is just good if it's hard because honestly, I feel like I need to just like think about every single fairy ring, but like the tool leprechauns are very, very strong too. You can get to all your farming patches a lot faster to get your, like, it makes your farming so much easier. Also, there's tool leprechauns on Fossil Island, so you can actually start doing your birdhouse runs. I don't believe that Globetrotter will count as a dig site pendant, so keep that in mind. Okay, but yeah, any of these picks are both pretty good. I'm personally probably going to go Fairy Flight though. I think it's just a little bit more fun to play around with Fairy's Flight. Okay, tier 3, this is at 1,200 points, which is not that much. This is like literally, this is like an hour 2. I think I'm expecting to get this like hour 2, so tough choice here. So first off, you're going to be getting Last Recall, Crystal of Memories, which can teleport players back to where they were. Starts off as a cooldown of 6 minutes, and then for every 300 total levels, it goes down until you have no cooldown. Last recall is very, very powerful, and it really changes what you would want to pick here. So keep last recall in mind, and remember, it gets no cooldown at 1800, but even at like 1500, you're gonna have last recall available to you with like a 1-minute cooldown. So you'll be able to like mine an entire bank, or you'll be able to like mine or fish an entire inventory, teleport to a bank, last recall back, even at like 1500, and you'll get 1500 in like the first couple of days. Okay, it's 1800 is not a lot to get in leagues. Okay, all right. So what are we getting here? Banker's note. You get the banker's note, which allows you to note and unnote items, and you can also activate this by or you can also like make this have like a certain quantity. So you could do like unnote 5. You don't have to unnote like your entire inventory basically. And then you got fire sale. All item shops with coins, so this is specifically coins. All item shops are free. This only applies to shops with a standard shop interface. So I think this means that you can't, like, if you have to go through like a text dialogue, you just can't do that. These items can automatically be noted when you buy them, and shops will no longer buy items for gold. Tough one. This is a very, very tough one. I think if you have something that takes advantage of fire sale, so in particular, if you're going Fremenic and you can buy yourself like the most ridiculous construction experience in the game, fire sale is really good. It also solves you all of your early game money problems. In addition, if you have Asgarnia or Zaya, those have like the farming shops, so you can get like, you can basically buy your farming and construction experience through that, which is also like pretty good. However, keep in mind that like when you get to the mid to late game, money isn't as big of an issue, so this becomes less relevant if you don't have something like the Fremenic shop. Sorry. On the other hand, Banker's Note is a pretty overpowered effect, but you can do a lot of what you would want Banker's Note for, you can also use Last Recall for. However, Banker's Note does allow you to bring stuff into places that you wouldn't be able to bring Last Recall in. So, for example, you could bring yourself like unlimited, or you can bring yourself all the sharks in the world to like raids and stuff like that. And so if you're newer to PVM, I think Banker's Note is like a must take, because you just bring yourself all the food you could possibly need. It's also going to help if you want to like camp a boss and you can just know all their supplies. And I thought about this for a while. Honestly, it's really, really tough. But just looking at my regions, I don't think there's anything that like, there's nothing that blows my mind about fire sale, and it will help me in the early game. Like, but I have a solution already of how I want to make money, and that's with the gem trader in the desert. So like, because I already have a solution to like making early money, I think I'm just gonna go with Bankers now. It feels like this is one of those things that's like, it's gonna always be useful in some capacity. Personally, I'm actually like, I'm like kind of casual, but I also like doing the sweaty methods too. I kind of am excited about bringing like all my like bank standing to like a boss, and then like doing bank standing skills while I wait for the boss to respawn. I know it's super sweaty, but like that's kind of fun to me. I feel like after a week, I'm gonna regret not picking Bankers Note. So like fire sale's good. It's gonna suck being a brokey on day one, but like, dude, I think it's Banker's Note for me. Okay, tier 4, this is at 2,000 points. So this is not even that far. 2,000 points is not that far. Item sources will be 2 times as common. This is pretty, wait, is that not how it started off with? Items from some source will be, this is probably items from sources will be 3 times as common, right? Okay, yeah, this is probably 3 times as common, which actually makes it so that PVM, remember that 3 times as common was the top end for PVM in the last Trailblazer. So this is actually, if this is 3 times as common, that's like actually like legit broken. You can like start bossing and doing raids and you can start doing like combat way earlier because you have 3 times. That's really, really good. I'm actually happy they did that. You're going to get bigger and badder, and you're going to get 1 out of 50 chance of superior Slayer monsters. You're also going to get 5 times Slayer reward points, and you're no longer limited to a minimum. Well, I don't know what that means. Limited to a minimum of a 10 task streak. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you have to do 10 tasks before you start getting the points? Okay, well, I don't know. Anyways, basically don't do Slayer, don't do a lot of combat until you get tier 4, and then you're going to choose your combat relic, and you're going to go nuts. I've kind of gone over these quite a bit, so I'm not going to spend too much time on them, and hopefully you have your idea in mind. But the good thing to note is that the attack speed is going to be rounded, or it's going to be halved and rounded down if it's attack speed 4 or 5, meaning if you have a 4-tick or a 5-tick weapon, it's going to be a 2-tick weapon. So you want to abuse the hell out of 5 ticks 5 ticks are like kind of the name of the game. So that means crossbows. That means the shadow and the staff. Even like even ancients are really really good here for magic. And then for melee, you got some wacky ones. You got Dragon Longsword, Leaf Bladed Battle Axe. Guthans is pretty good. Din's Bulwark is good. Fang is insane. Scythe is insane. Like melee's really really fun with 5 tick weapons in my opinion. And then just for the extra stuff, this gives you 90% ammo conservation. And enchanted bolts have twice the chance to activate. So this is basically it's like crossbow league. If you like crossbow, if you like ruby bolts, go nuts. Just try to think of some way to actually get your ruby bolts. For melee, you're gonna get all of your defense is gonna be increased by 50%. So this doesn't mean you're taking. This doesn't mean it's not 50% damage reduction. It's just your defensive stats. So instead of like 100, like stab defense, you'll have 150 stab defense, right? Charges are saved, so this means a scythe. You will save your charges. Oh, also for the ranged one, this does stack with Ava's device for 98%. 98% is effectively 50 times the ammo, by the way. Oh, and then you're also going to be immune to status effects with the melee one, so Poison, Venom, Dragonfire, Icy Breath. This is really great for Vorkath, fighting dragons, fighting wyverns, all that good stuff. Very, very cool one. I really like Brawler's Resolve. However, I've been pretty committed to Superior Sorcerer, so I'm definitely going to go for the mage route. Shadow is going to be 2 tick, which is insane. Your magic accuracy and damage are increased by 175 and 20%. This is crazy, and that's on top of all your damage. Players will save 90% of runes. So even when casting High Alchemy, I'm going to be saving 90% of my runes. It's just crazy good. In multi-combat, your magic attacks are going to be doing AoE damage. This is like okay, but in my opinion, like it's not that insane because you're going to be using like ancient magics there anyways, and it's not like ancient magics are going to like multiply 9x. So yeah, it's fine. This is like a pretty decent one. Spells that bind will always hit. So the interesting thing is that I'm pretty sure this makes like Ice Barrage a very powerful because it's going to have 100% accuracy against some monsters. So Ice Barrage is probably going to be your main spell until you get Shadow. If you're going mage, you should probably go Shadow. You should probably go Candor, you should probably go Desert, but it's freaking leagues, okay? Have fun, do whatever you want. And then this one's also pretty good. Players will be given the Arcane Grimoire and Rune Pouch. Arcane Grimoire lets you change your spellbook. And this is nice because you can like bring it into raids. You can like probably like summon thralls, or if you need like Blood Barrage for a certain room, you can do that. There's some really cool stuff you could do with Arcane Grimoire. Honestly, I don't think I'm like smart enough to even think about all of them, but I know that I'm going to have the Ancient Spellbook and the Standard Spellbook. I don't think I'm going to get Arceus or Lunar Spellbook, but I'm probably going to swap to like the Standard Spellbook if I need anything, like to do some High Alchs and then swap back to Barrage. I don't know. We'll see. Arcane Grimoire is cool though, and then Rune Pouch also stores 5 types of runes and then 6 with the Divine Rune Pouch. So this is just like insane quality of life. Pick whatever. There's no right answer here. I'm going mage, but I think all of them are. This is to me, this is the most balanced choice I've ever seen. It really feels like you can go anything. Even if you're not doing max damage, you're still gonna have like a really, really fun time. So there's not a wrong choice here. Okay, tier 5, this is at 4,000 points. XP multiplier goes up to 12 times. So I would say that if you're gonna be doing any long grinds, at least wait for this one. 4,000 points is not that much. It's probably like a day 2 thing for most people. I'm definitely going to try to get this day 1 though. And then minigames are increased by 5 times. Yo, that's huge. Okay. So let's go through Bloodthirsty. Players can choose and cancel their Slayer tasks. This is basically, you get to choose your own Slayer task. It's very good. Superior Slayer creatures are increased to 1 out of 25. It's going to be 1 out of 50 baseline, but now you're going to get 2 times that, right? Slayer points are also given to you based on just, killing these guys. So you're going to have like tons of Slayer points in addition to like the 5 times bonus. You're going to get 2 rolls on their drop table to get like imbued hearts and whatnot. 25% chance to spawn as a Bloodthirsty, which gives 3 rolls. I don't know if the Bloodthirsty is like more difficult or anything, but this is new stuff. This is pretty cool. And then Expeditious Bracelets and Bracelets of Slaughter have a 35% chance to proc and no longer consume charges. I don't really understand this because this doesn't really make sense to me, to be honest, because you can just choose and cancel your Slayer tasks at will anyways. So this might be nice if you have like a task that's like complete 200 Slayer tasks, you can basically just spam Expeditious Bracelets, I guess, without like having to make them. So it's a nice effect, but it's nothing crazy. Okay. Infernal Gathering. Whew, this one's tough. Okay, this one's tough now. I'm not sure now. So okay, Infernal Gathering, you're gonna get the Trailblazer Axe, which will it's gonna burn any logs that you chop, and it performs 1 tick quicker. Oh my god, I didn't even read that. That's actually insane. Holy moly. Trailblazer Pickaxe, any ore will be smelted into a metal bar, and that's gonna be 1 tick quicker. And then the Trailblazer Harpoon, any fish are not cocked, cooked, regardless of, and that gives you a cooking experience regardless of level requirement. It will also work for fish that don't require a harpoon, so you can basically use this on everything, and that's 2 ticks quicker. What the? Whoa. Okay, Infernal Gathering is really good. I quickly brushed over this just to see if it was what I thought it was, and this is kind of why I want to go Endless Harvest. I want to combine it with Infernal Gathering because I think this is going to be like super broke. It's gonna like let's say I'm fishing, it's gonna cook everything, it's gonna send that all to my bank, and I can just sit there and literally just have a blast. I have all the food that I need. Like I'm gonna get all my fire. Like I think combined with Endless Harvest, this is like so good. So that's why I'm like very much thinking about it. And then finally, Treasure Seeker. Don't count this one out because this was like one of the best relics. NPCs that drop clue scrolls have a 1 in 15 chance. The rate of obtaining clue vessels is 10x. Holy moly. So this is like from trees to get like the bird's nest with a clue, or to get like the geode from rocks. Clue scrolls have the lowest possible amount of steps. Reward caskets will give the maximum amount of rolls. And there is a chance that the player will receive another reward casket. Damn, that is pretty good. There's a chance for the bonus casket to be upgraded to a tier above the one players initially opened. There is always a lot of tasks for doing clues. So this is another one where I think it's tough, man. It's like really, really tough. At first, I thought that Bloodthirsty was like the best, no question. And now I start to think that it's like the worst. So like, I don't like doing clues, so I'm probably not going to worry that much about Treasure Seeker, just because like it's just clues are something I'm going to do when I'm like bored, like 2 or 3 weeks in. So I'm probably not going Treasure Seeker, but it is very powerful. And then between these guys, it's very hard for me just because like I'm picking Kandarins, so I'm going to have like Demonic Gorillas and Kraken and Smoke Devils. But you don't really need Bloodthirsty anymore because you're getting 5 times Slayer points anyways, which means that like you can just skip tasks. But like, do you really need Infernal Gathering? I don't know. This is a tough choice, man. I don't know what I'm gonna pick here. I'm kind of leaning towards Infernal Gathering with Endless Harvest though. But like, man, I think I'm gonna regret not going Blood. Like being able to pick your Slayer tasks even with 5 times points is like, it is good, man. Because otherwise, like when you get a Kraken task, you have to go and do Kraken. You know, otherwise you're kind of wasting. I don't know. It's 5 times Slayer points. Like, do I actually? I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this because I feel like I'm just gonna skip until I get with the Slayer task that I want. I think I'm going Infernal Gathering. I made up my mind. All right, guys. Tier 6 item source. This is at 7,500 points, by the way. So this is where it starts to get a lot. Items from some sources will be 4 times as common, and you're going to be choosing between Equilibrium, Farmer's Fortune, and Ruinous Powers. So Equilibrium, every time you gain experience, you'll also gain additional experience equal to 10% of the player's total level. Let's say you had 2,000 total level. Every time you get any experience, like you see the XP drop, you're going to get 200 extra to whatever skill you're doing. I know some people thought that you get this to your lowest skill. That's not true. You're just getting it to whatever you're training. So let's say you're training agility. You're getting 200. You're getting like a bonus 200 every time you complete an obstacle. This is really good to get some agility if you're not planning on running Trickster, by the way, or anything that's giving you like fast experience drops instead of like ginormous, like massive chunks of XP. And it can really change how you play too. So Equilibrium is really cool. I also really like this, that it's 20% for the player's lowest level skill. This makes it like actually kind of neat for getting your skills up. Like that's a pretty good bonus. Again, 2k total level, so you're getting plus 400 when doing stuff. Like that's good. And that isn't multiplied though, so like let's say you catch a fish and that gives you 100 experience. You're going to have like a 16 times multiplier, so 100 experience becomes 1,600, and then you're going to get like 200 added onto that, which is like, I think it's like an extra 10% or so. No, it's less than that. It's like 15%. That's not bad, but it's not insane, you know what I mean? Like it's you kind of have to take advantage of the fast experience drops and this 20% to like really, really like take advantage of it. With Production Prodigy though, this item is pretty damn good. You are going to get quite a lot of experience. However, keep in mind that Production Prodigy is already one of the fast. Like, you're making all those skills super fast anyways, so this isn't like, I don't know. This is Equilibrium is something I'm probably going to have to sit on a little bit. I think I'm just not. I honestly think I'm just not smart enough to like think about how I want to take advantage of this, and I don't really mind like maxing like the normal way. Okay, here we go. Farmer's Fortune. This is the farming relic. Players will have a 20% chance to save the seed, and farming patches will grow instantly and never catch disease. Players will harvest farming patches 25 times faster. What the? Wait, 25 times? Does that mean that you're literally just like what the heck happens here? Sorry, that was and it's also going to give triple the usual yield and turn them into banknotes. If this is what I think it is, where you just plant the seed and your farming patches grow instantly, this makes Farmer's Fortune like a instant skill. You just have all the supplies and you just plant like, is this not broken? Is Farmer's Fortune just not like super broken here? The only thing though is that it only really helps you with like farming and herb lore though, right? It only helps you with like 2 skills, but it's kind of insane, no? Also keep in mind though that like you could just do farming the normal way. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing farming the normal way. But this is like, I just think this is like a little ridiculous. And even some stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily want to plant. Let's say you just have like a lot of like random seeds lying around. You can just go spam them for farming experience now. So it's actually like, I think it's really good. Like let's say you wanted to go like make some yew trees or something. Yew trees aren't they're not like that good to plant. You could just go and dump all of your yew seeds, all of your oak seeds, all that stuff, and just like boom, 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 boom. I think you do have to make the sapling though, so that's kind of annoying. But and you have a 20% like, man, I think Farmer's Fortune is really good. And of course, Ruinous Powers. This one's like, it's actually crazy that this is in the same tier because this one is so different, and it's actually a combat. It's kind of a combat one. Anyways, must be unlocked in a bank, and you're given the Ruinous Powers, which allows you to use the Ruinous Powers. So we kind of went over this, but basically the most important thing that, like, there's probably some other uses, but the most important thing is that you're going to get Decimate, Annihilate, and Vaporize. This basically means this is the equivalent of like Piety, Rigor, and Augury. All this means is that if you're not going for Kandarin to get Piety as melee, you should probably get this. This is a huge damage bonus. And if you were planning on going Kandarin just to get Piety, you kind of have a new zone opened up for you. Honestly, I would probably just pick this. Like, these other guys are really powerful, but like to get your own zone, to not have to go somewhere, I think is really strong. And then also for the ranged one, if you were planning on going for Chambers of Zarek to get Rigor, I feel like you just go for Annihilate. This is even better than Rigor too. Oh yeah, one thing to keep in mind though, you're not getting the defensive bonus from Decimate. Okay, so just be aware of that. And also the dampen spells, you take a little bit extra chip damage, so just be aware of that. Okay, it's good, but it has its drawbacks. You do need to keep that in mind a little bit. There's other like cool stuff in this, but yeah, to me this is mainly if you're going Kandarin. Now you could just not go Kandarin and take Decimate, and if you wanted to skip Chambers of Zarek, I know that the Twisted Bow and the Twisted Buckler are there, but like, dude, the Twisted Bow is not as powerful as people think outside of like a couple bosses like Jad or the Inferno, but like crossbows are kind of king this league if you're going for a ranged build. So if you don't want to do Zaya, which by the way, I know a lot of people were like, wait, but Zaya's really good. Yeah, Zaya is really good. You can still go Zaya if you want. Don't get me wrong. The Twisted Bow is a lot of fun. But if you did want to skip Zaya, I would definitely pick this. I mean, this is a crazy amount of damage. Like, this is a lot to pass up on. But yeah, you know, if you're going Zaya, maybe pick one of these other two, which are both really good. Tier 7 is 15,000 points. We're going from 12x to 16 times. That's a maximum experience multiplier. So once you get here, this is where you got free territory to just go and do all your skilling stuff. I'm saving all of like my 99 skilling grinds until I'm at tier 7. I'm really not going to do any of them until I get here. Minigame points go up to 8 times, which is insane. And here we got we had Weapon Master already. We talked about this one, but the actual numbers are pretty broken. So first off, special attacks are 100% accuracy, so always a successful hit. And also the minimum damage is going to be increased from 0 to 20%. I don't know. I guess it's like basically a 10% damage bonus, right? If that makes, because you're always getting like average 10%. I think that's how it works. The player's special attack energy is restored by 30% every 30 seconds. That's quite fast. That's pretty good. And then the light bearer will increase this to 30% every 15 seconds. If the player has 0% energy, they can instead choose to perform additional special attacks by sacrificing 25 hit points. And you can actually you can eat and stuff like that. Also, I know this is 0% energy. I'm going to assume that if you have 10% energy or something like that, that this also works. Even though I'm pretty sure if you had 10 or 50, it basically just means if you don't have enough special attack to cast your special attack. I think that's how it works. That should be how it works. So this is really good. You can basically chew through food to cast more special attacks if you want to. I know that the 100% accuracy makes something like the Dragon Dagger one of the best special attacks in the entire game, because you're just going to be doing crazy amounts of damage with it, even if you're not so yeah, I think Weapon Master is always good. Special attack is always good. Two considerations you should have though is you are probably going to be abusing last recall with this to you're basically just going to spec dump bosses, get them. You're either going to kill them outright or get them really, really low. And what you're going to want to do is just have some way of recharging your special attack. So that's either, a player-owned house rejuvenation pool or the statue in Narda. Remember, I just talked about this in the Wildy video, but the Ferox Enclave does not restore your special attack. Okay, so be aware of that. If you have some way to teleport to somewhere to get your special attack back and then, teleport back to the boss and, basically get the respawn, keep going. Weapon Master is it's just one of the most broken relics in the game. For me personally, though, this is fun for an hour, and then I start to get really, really bored of basically just clicking my special attack button 6 times, and then the fight is over, and then I just teleport, and then I recall. It makes the game feel very boring to me. I'm playing Cookie Clicker, honestly. So even though it's really powerful, I personally don't like it. I think it's not that fun, and I'm not really I don't want to just eat and special attack, eat and special attack, eat and special attack. So I'm probably not going to go for Weapon Master, but don't let that stop you, okay? It's pretty good. For the other ones, basically exactly what I thought. Berserker is Knife's Edge or the Darox effect where you're doing more damage for every hit point missing at 0.4%. I believe this means, if I can get a calculator up because I'm freaking dumb at math, 0.4 times, we could go up to 98, right? That's up almost 40% damage. Oh yeah, so you're getting up to 40% damage. That's pretty good, dude. 40% damage is pretty good, and even if you're camping at half health, it's still 20% damage. So you don't have to be camping at 1 HP. You could this is still a 20% damage bonus if you're camping half health. It's probably not going to do as much damage as Weapon Master, but it is pretty fun. And also this one, you're guaranteed to hit your max hit on an NPC with full health. Yo, this means that when you start off fights, you're gonna do crazy damage at the start. Just keep in mind with something like this, you're probably gonna kill Zulrah, because Zulrah, if you have Zulrah, for example, she has no mechanics. She doesn't do any damage for the first 10 seconds. You're probably gonna kill Zulrah before she even sits down or swims in the water. Any boss that takes no damage or that does no damage to you is insanely good with this. But even then, if you can camp comfortably at 30 health, even 20 health, something like that, dude, this is it is a good amount of damage. And also, just to be clear, it's also one of the most fun effects in the game. The Knife's Edge, this Berserker effect, is super, super, super fun. You're gonna screw up and die a couple times, but it's so worth it. It's super fun. I love this one. I'm glad it's coming back. It might not be the most broken, but it is it's, to me, this is fun factor off the charts. And Soul Stealer is also in the same tier. It's a tough one for me for sure. All your successful hits are increased from 0 to 10%. This is basically, I think, a 5% damage bonus across the board, right? Because you're getting 0 to 10, so it's average of 5. Upon a successful hit, there's a 50% chance that the player's hit points and prayer points are restored by 10%. This basically means you have 5% life steal and 5% prayer steal, right? I think that's how the math works out. 5%'s not that much, man. I'm not gonna lie. You are doing a lot of damage. You're gonna be doing a lot of damage, but 5% life steal is it's kind of meh. If this was 10%, I would if this was 100% chance, I would be yeah, I don't know. I just feel this is a little bit weaker than I thought it would be. Also, it does exclude multi-target attacks, so you can't barrage, and you'll still get the initial hit, but you're not gonna get You're not going to get like millions and millions of health and prayer restore. It's not going to work like that. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Soul Stealer, it's pretty good. I think this one's like by far the most chill because you're it just makes things like Inferno, Fight Caves, all that stuff really, really easy. If you don't have like an Amulet of Blood Fury, or even if you do, you could just like combo it. It's fun. Soul Stealer is really, really fun. I was a big like Drain Gang fan in the past. It just feels like this 5% is a little bit weak. So um I'm kind of deciding between Berserker and Soul Stealer, leading towards Berserker. And I will talk about that in the next one because in the very last tier, tier 8, this is 24k points. Yo, that's a lot, by the way. 24k is a lot of points to get. Good luck, gamers. This is going to be a big goal. A lot of people quit after getting the, like 15k and getting the last tier. Dude, tier 8, this is, it's a lot. This is a lot to go for. And you get up to 5 times items, which is good. But keep in mind that like the difference between 4 times and 5 times is not that much. It's only like a 25% boost. So you don't need to do this to start doing raids and stuff like that. Like you can start raiding, you can start getting your bisc gear. This just helps to like green log everything. Okay, and in this tier we got Guardian. Basically, this allows you to summon a thrall that attacks for 30 minutes with a damage roll of 6 to 15. And if I get that calculator back up, let's see. So 15 plus 6. I'm just doing some quick math here. Divided by 2. Oh, divided by 2. Does this mean that it averages 10.5, right? And it has an attack speed of 5, right? Attack speed of 5. So we divide that by 5. It's like 2 damage per second. Most builds in this game are in leagues are going to be doing like 20 plus. I've even seen 30 plus. I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty good. Like, it's pretty good, you know? Guardian's cool, but it's also like the more I thought about it, the more I realized like this is probably like the most boring relic ever. It just gives you a dude that does damage, you know. So she's cool. Like it's a fun concept, but for me, like even if this was the most powerful relic in terms of overall damage, I'm struggling to feel like I don't know how good I would feel about this 2 hours after using it. You know, it would be really fun for an hour, and then I would be like, okay, wow, this is like, it's just like a reminder to click the Guardian Horn every 30 minutes, and that's it. There's nothing actually like changes. It can be nice, but it's just like, it's literally just like you're doing extra damage. That's all. If you're doing any kind of like, if your route is such that you're not able to use your on style a lot, the Guardian gets a lot better because she can attack in every single style, which is like really good. So like if you're doing like Zulrah with melee, this like Guardian is probably going to carry you, but even then it's 2 DPS, right? Like my calculations could be wrong there, but it's not. Guardian's not blowing me away, man. I'm gonna be honest, it's not blowing me away. But some people like love it, so I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. It's just boring for me, and it's not enough damage for me to like warrant picking it. Other two are really fun. I love Executioner. I will stand by that. I think this is the most broken relic ever in the game. Some people are like telling me I'm wrong, that I'm stupid. It is. I think this is the most broken relic in the game, if for nothing else than how good it is in group combat. So just to explain it, you get the Sage's Axe, which allows you. You are going to have to equip it. So I was wrong. It's not just going to be like a rock hammer that's going to auto execute everything. That would probably be too broken. But basically, you can equip the axe and it allows you to insta kill targets who have less than 20% of their health remaining. The attack range is 6 tiles. I think this means so something like Zuck you're not going to be able to do. But you know, just check on that because I don't know for sure how that works. And I don't know. I'm trying to imagine like. I can't like go through my napkin math right now of like where 6 tiles is good, where 6 tiles is not. But for most things, you should be able to do this. NPCs with range damage reduction are still applied. Yeah, that one kind of sucks. This one's rough. So something's like immune to range. So I think this includes like Akka, for example. You're not going to be able to like execute Akka when he's immune to range, including like the last phase. I probably need to look at every single NPC that's range damage that has this, but this is kind of like this sucks. I feel like this is just one of those like unfortunate coding things that like makes this item like less fun to use because every time that this is a problem, it's just like a net negative. But it's still gonna be fine for most things. It's gonna be fine for most raids. It's gonna be good for Ulm. It's going to be good for Verzik. It's going to be good for... Oh, actually, I guess this would be reduced if you're fighting like the hands and stuff like that. But also keep in mind though, like you can actually use that item multiple times. It's probably like a 4-tick weapon, or I guess it doesn't exist. But wait, is there anything? Oh shoot! Oh shoot! What the heck? Oh dude, it's a 2-ticker. Wait, that's actually OP. Okay, that's actually kind of good. All right, I'm actually with it, dude. All right, I'm super with it, dude. Sage's Axe. All right, I'm freaking with it. This is a cool item. Okay. Yeah, and then finally, Undying Retribution. This is a cheat death. Upon death, your hit points are fully restored, and you're going to deal damage up to 200% of the player's prayer level. So that's, if you had 99 prayer, that would be 198 damage. That is a lot of damage to do, and I think it is. It's like close to you. I don't think it's like. I don't think it's just like. I don't think you like drop a nuke on the entire map. You have to be like kind of close to it. So I don't think you'll be able to like kill Zuck with this. There's a 3-minute cooldown between uses or when the player actually dies. 3-minute cooldown, guys. That's pretty good. I think that's actually like just balanced enough where like it's worth picking up, but you can't just abuse it to like literally just chain deaths. If you're new to PVM, man, this is some broken shit. I'm not gonna lie, like this thing is cool as hell. Let's see. The damage effect will not work on NPCs that are immune. And I tried to look at what's immune to this, and for the most part, I couldn't find anything that's like too. Yeah, I couldn't find anything that's crazy. And they also, for Nex, Hespori, Vorkath, and all the wilderness bosses, you will be able to use it as well. So I think so, right? I think that's how it reads. They're immune to recoil, but now it will work. So that's good. And then dying with the effect does not count toward death penalties. That's really, really huge. Usually when you die in raids, you get like a point penalty, which reduces how many drops you get. And then this is just going to like fix that. You're just going to get it anyways. Okay, Undying Retribution, man. 3 minutes feels really good, and I think that this is a tough one. Remember that like Executioner is super broken if you have a group. If you had like 5 people doing Theater of Blood and you only have 1 person running Executioner, that person is like MVP because you're getting 20% of like a skilled of 5, right? So that's like a lot of value. Sorry, one sec. I'm like choking. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, Executioner sucks because you only need 1 person in your group. That's true, but like personally for me, I would rather have 2 people in my group with Executioner than spend time having to look for somebody that has Executioner. You know what I mean? Like, because it is really, really powerful. It's going to help you skip like those enrage phases. For Wardens, this is like pretty damn strong. It's going to help you skip Lightning phase and all that stuff. However, I think I'm kind of on the fence here, but I think I'm going to be going for Undying Retribution, and that's because I want to combo it with Berserker so that I can camp like really, really low health and do raids and stuff like that. And if I do make a mistake, I just get the cheat death effect. Like, I can camp like 1 HP, and if something happens, I'm not going to waste like 30 minutes of a raid or something like that. I'm just going to cheat death and then just play a little bit safe for the rest of the fight. And that combo of Undying Retribution and Berserker, in my opinion, that just feels like the most fun thing to do this leagues for me. I like camping a low health. I like really, testing the limits of what I can do. And then just having that 1 cheat death. And let's be honest, I'm going to proc that cheat death and I'm going to go straight back to low health. Like, I know I'm going to do it because I'm a freaking greedy goblin, okay? I want to camp low health and just do nuts damage. Just keep in mind, if you are going for the low health, you should probably have some way to deal damage to yourself. So if you had Fremennik unlocked, you can get like the Locator Orb, which does damage to you. I think I'm going to have Ascarnia unlocked so I can get the Dwarven Rock Cake to eat that for to take damage. There might be some other ways, but yeah, Berserker gets a lot better if you have some way of dealing damage to yourself. I think it's kind of bad without that because you can't really control your health. Anyways, that's it. That's all that's it. That's all of it. Again, there's a lot more to talk about, but this video is already like 45 minutes. Leaks comes out in 1 hour and 10 minutes from basically what I'm saying right now. So I'm going to be uploading this. I'm going to turn the stream on, and we're gaming today. we're gaming. I don't know what else to say. I'm super excited, man. These are some tough picks, but I really like. It feels like there are a lot of tough picks, but they don't really feel like you're going to be making like a lot of wrong mistakes. So yeah, exciting. I think I'm picking for fun here. Like a lot of the times, I think I'm just picking for fun. So I'm excited, man. All right. Thanks guys for watching. Good luck with leagues. Again, sorry, this is probably gonna be a super scuffed video, but hope you enjoy. And yeah, good luck. This is Leagues 4, dude. It's coming out in an hour. What the heck?